I think it's a lot more relevant to look at these releases that had a little bit of breathing room between them. Also, I don't want to look up their marketing cycle for every one of their previous games, because there was a lot more in the previous 13 years. But historically, gameplay comes late. Rockstar likes to make people wait on this because hype works. I do think in a lot of cases the concept of hype is dead and people care more about quality, but you give people quality and a much more real version of hype arises like the Phoenix. And that's what I suspect will actually happen when they drop their gameplay presentation. But it's interesting that they don't seem to be uploading a third cinematic trailer about it. So if they're breaking pattern, why? There are some who have suggested that it may be due to certain controversies that have ensued since the various announcements that have happened, centered primarily on locking away shops and other cosmetic content behind the $20 extra Ultimate Edition. And while I don't think that's an invalid concern, $20 is a lot more, it's not new either. If you look at Red Dead Redemption 2's Ultimate Edition, they actually lock story content behind it. And that didn't cause them to change their marketing pattern. They released that 3 trailer and then gameplay and then launch trailer and then launch. Same pattern. I'm just not sure that controversy is really a good reason for them to do less marketing. So then we have to ask the question, what would Trailer 3 actually accomplish? And I think that might get us at least a little bit closer, because what would we see in a third cinematic trailer? More Jason and Lucia? I mean, we've already got that. What are they going to tell us more about them that doesn't just start spoiling things in the game? More Leonida? Well, same. More Vice City? Same. What are they going to show us of those things that doesn't start spoiling stuff in the game? And from the perspective of wetting our whistles, what else is there to really see? We've seen a lot. I certainly wouldn't complain if they put out a third cinematic trailer, but the fact is, the biggest question that's still hanging over Grand Theft Auto 6 is, how does it actually play? Not how it looks, not how nice the sunsets are, not how detailed the NPCs' faces are. I don't know. None of that stuff really needs to be talked about more ahead of launch. So if you do put out a cinematic trailer that doesn't say anything new about the game, what you actually risk doing is dampening the hype a bit by making people go, it's nothing new. I don't really care about that. Show me the gameplay. And to be frank, since they opened up pre-orders, I don't think anybody really wants that. Once pre-orders are open, you're not being teased by the tantalizing views. You've either bought the game or you're being asked to buy the game that won't be out until November. You will not play it until then. So what is it you want? Well, to know what playing it is going to be like, because you bought the game or might buy it. And to be clear, I don't really endorse pre-ordering this game, or really any game for that matter, except for maybe some small games that are attempting to use pre-orders as maybe some sort of crowdfunding to try and expand their development budget or something like that. You could argue that early access is also kind of pre-ordering a game, and it kind of is. I mean, you get an early version of the game, but also you don't get the final game. Still, you have some idea what the game is like. But for games that are being developed traditionally, that have a publisher and a budget and all of that, don't pre-order it. There isn't going to be a scarcity for this game, because I don't even know why you would want the quote-unquote physical edition of it. Anyway, it's a slip of paper in a case. That having been said, I also think pre-orders have kind of shown them that they don't need to really tell us how it's going to be the deepest and most immersive GTA experience yet again. People have put their money where their mouth is. They believe that's what it's going to be. Analysts have already called the pre-order campaign potentially historic. I've seen estimates that 10 million copies were pre-ordered day one. I've seen estimates that say 180 million in revenue was brought in on digital pre-orders in the first week. These are insane numbers. You could say that people have already spoken. They think the product is going to be as advertised, so what's the point of advertising more? At this point, to some extent, the advertising campaign has to be about reassuring people that it was worth the money they already put down. A large portion of the player base has done that. Further, the fan conspiracy machine is kind of now part of the marketing itself. You have to understand that Grand Theft Auto fans are not just waiting for marketing, they're kind of making the silence into marketing on their own. By talking about it so much that the conversation is unavoidable, Rockstar, without doing a damn thing, dominates the conversation around video games. Like, there was coverage around fans reading into YouTube activity around the June 25th pre-order date and about the various theories that people had crafted. There is coverage not on the lack of coverage, but on the fan discussion of the lack of coverage, which is coverage of GTA 6 several layers deep. And to be clear, I am not making a case for you that Trailer 3 shouldn't exist. Like I said, I wouldn't argue against a third cinematic trailer, nor would I not want to see it. And the people at Rockstar probably also really like cinematic trailers themselves. They do generate mainstream headlines. They're significantly simpler than explaining mechanics and UI stuff, and they're fun. Like, straight up, they're just fun. But when I was thinking about that, it kind of clicked for me what's really going on here. Rockstar understands that Grand Theft Auto 6 is not a normal game. It's not even a normal Rockstar game. There isn't such thing as a normal Rockstar game anymore. They're releasing like 2 a decade now, if that. But I'm not even talking about that necessarily. I'm saying Grand Theft Auto 6 has kind of transcended marketing. It's an event. That isn't to say Rockstar doesn't need to market their game. They do, and they are. But Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be as close to an entertainment singularity as we are likely ever to see. It's going to be one of the few examples of monoculture left in the world, and potentially the biggest bit of monoculture that's ever happened. I know there are a lot of valid reasons to be upset around conditions around Grand Theft Auto 6, but that doesn't change what Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be. Here on GameRanks, we have talked about the consumer advocacy viewpoint of a lot of those issues, whether it be the joke of a physical edition, the fact that the Ultimate Edition is going to be a $100 game, and we've certainly talked a lot about game ownership. I'm still hammering the point home also that buying a license to a game, whether that is on physical media or digital media, is the problem. But these are issues that exist in our world, not the world of the game, not inside the game. Those issues don't make me not want to play Grand Theft Auto 6. And I am hardly alone in that sentiment. I am a massive fan of the Grand Theft Auto series. I love playing these games. I have been doing a retrospective playthrough of the main campaign of as many of these games as I can prior to the launch of Grand Theft Auto 6. I am on San Andreas. I've already been through Vice City once this year already, guys. And I'm really looking forward to this game. There's a concept that many people have advocated for a long time, which is separating the art from the artist. And while I believe there are certain ways in which you should not separate the art from the artist, there are certain ways in which you should. Art is an invaluable thing for the human race. It should be something that is accessible to everyone, and Grand Theft Auto 6 is art. It is art that will bring much of the world together. And it will do this in a way that almost nothing else in our world at this point is capable of doing. That in of itself is a massive public service that I don't think anyone credits anything for anymore. When a big movie hits big, that means a bunch of people chose to go to the movie theater and sit with each other, laugh with each other, or jump at the jump scares with each other. When people go to a concert to see a band, they're spending time among their fellow people, people who like something they like and respond to the same things that they respond to. There are not a lot of things in this world that bring us together in this way, and this will be the biggest one in our lives. That's a crazy thing to say. I don't know if it will be the last biggest thing ever in our lives like that, but I guarantee it will be the biggest up until the release of Grand Theft Auto 6 that has happened for every one of us who is alive and wasn't alive through any world wars. The point is, if Rockstar actually does skip trailer 3, it says something massive. It says that Rockstar thinks they no longer need their traditional hype building process the way they used to. It says they understand that the audience is locked the hell in. It says that the pre-orders are moving fast enough that it doesn't matter to them. It says the internet is doing enough unpaid marketing. Why do something themselves? Just let it go. The only thing left to prove is that the game is actually the generational leap that people expect it to be. And perhaps doing anything other than that might actually dampen the momentum, which is insane. To do more marketing could dampen their momentum. But granted, it does bring up the next problem for them, which is they are going to have to show gameplay because people are invested. They are now doing a balancing act that the power move of not releasing a third trailer would imply that they aren't doing. But make no mistake, no matter how much power they do have, no matter how big this event is going to be, they are sitting in the pilot seat of an airplane carrying the most people ever. And they have hit some turbulence. Regardless of how good this game actually is, regardless of if it is the generational leap, you have to imagine that the people who are sitting on this gameplay footage and whatever dumb narration they put over it, in the world of Leonida, Jason and Lucia drive automobiles around that they've stolen. You could steal old cars, new cars, and snacks from a gas station, and you'll be able to post it all on fake social media using your whatever they call iPhones in this version of the game. A number of people are sitting on that, making little tweaks to it as we speak, likely nervous as hell because everyone under the age of 45 will see it. And I don't mean in the United States. I don't mean in the United Kingdom. I don't mean in the West. I mean everyone under the age of 45. There is so much riding on that gameplay video. And to be frank, all another cinematic trailer would do is make people perhaps a little more rowdy. I think they're going to want to ease people into that gameplay in a way that goes down smooth like a Kenny G sax solo playing over a weather report. And I think it's actually easier to do that if you leave a little bit more radio silence between the last thing that happened, opening up the pre-orders, and that gameplay. Let a few other high-profile releases from the year come out and happen, and as incredible as they're going to be, Control Resonant is certainly going to be a banger. Star Wars Zero Company, gonna play it. Gears of War E-Day, you betcha. Let people float around in the other pools for a little while and then smack them with the thing that reminds them why you play a Grand Theft Auto game. Remind them that although Wolverine might be a good game, it can't do what a Grand Theft Auto game can do. I think that's a good strategy, honestly, and I think it'll work. But then again, I could be wrong, and tomorrow they could release a third cinematic trailer. I don't know. I don't know anybody there. I'm trying, but I'm not psychic yet, so I can't really tell you what's going on in their heads, but I can try to interpret what they're doing, and they're not doing that. At least yet. I'm sure we're going to talk about this more, whether they do or don't release another trailer. We'll talk about it here. We'll talk about it on the Falcon Show, and man, Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be nuts. What do you think? Leave us a comment. Let us know. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription, so click subscribe. Don't forget to enable notifications, and as always, we thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. Join the 1% Club with the button below. That's how you exclusively get the Falcon Show every weekend. We'll see you next time right here on Game Ranks.